It's long been said of Yemen that it's unconquerable, but a new battle is emerging here. If you take a look at the map of terror over the past year, it often seems like all roads lead here to Yemen, an impoverished state at the tip of the Arabian Peninsula. But it's also the location for an ambitious one-man mission to challenge the ideology and passion that has fueled Al-Qaeda.
Youth can do the difference. Youth can change, can take out the roots of the extremism in Yemen.
This is d.Cmrو Khaled, accountant turned Muslim televangelist. Unknown outside the Islamic world, within it he's like a rock star. More viewers than Oprah Winfrey, 2 million Facebook friends, and a TV show modelled on The Apprentice. The contestants pitch him charity projects instead of business plans. Today he's come to Yemen, he says, to tackle Al-Qaeda in its heartland. He plans to train thousands of activists to promote tolerance in mosques and schools and set up a microfinance project to help the poor he sees as most susceptible to extremist propaganda. But there's already a hitch. Yemen's president was supposed to be here to back the project. He's not turned up. Are you disappointed the president isn't here?
We think that maybe something happened, but we are sure that we are able to do the project and succeed.
The president has plenty to worry about. This is the coastline of Aden, once a British protectorate. When the British left, its strategic location could have made it the next Singapore. Instead, it became the capital of a Marxist South Yemen before uniting with the North in 1990. Like many here, the fishermen bringing in their evening catch live a hand-to-mouth existence. Is it difficult for people in Yemen to find a job?
It's difficult, yes. Some people, they have a job, some people, they don't have. Some people, they eat, and some people, they don't eat.
Tonight, though, there's a distraction. Yemen's hosting the Gulf Cup, a local tournament that narrowly avoided disaster when competitors threatened to pull out for security fears. This match in Aden is Iraq versus the Emirates, but the crowd is all Yemeni. UAE? Yeah. They're going to win?
Yeah.
In the end, they settled for a goalless draw. Beyond the stadium, the national flag of Yemen masks a host of grievances. A fractious tribal society, a civil war in the north that nobody can remember the cause of, a separatist struggle in the south, and rampant corruption. The kind of rancour and chaos in which Al-Qaeda has thrived. For 32 years, this man has held it together. President Ali Abdullah Saleh says ruling Yemen is like dancing on the heads of snakes. These days, he rarely speaks to Western media, but he made an exception for us. It's widely acknowledged that Yemen is the home of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. How much control do you have of Yemen? And if you are in control, why haven't you kicked Al-Qaeda out?
Why should Yemen be expected to get rid of terrorism before others have? Why hasn't the United States and its alliance got rid of terrorism in Afghanistan, Pakistan and Iraq? It is untrue that Yemen is a haven for terrorists. On the contrary, we are fighting it. And it has cost us the lives of police, soldiers and citizens.
You famously said last year that ruling Yemen was like dancing on the heads of snakes. How difficult has that dance become in recent years?
It depends who's doing the dancing.
Such confidence may be misplaced. American analysts say Yemen is virtually a failed state. Recent WikiLeaks transcripts suggested the president tried to suppress details of American military strikes in order to quell anti-Western sentiment. And diplomats say that resources to fight al-Qaeda are being diverted to fight domestic rebels in the north. Pasted to the walls of the old city, Sana'a, are wanted posters of al-Qaeda members. Once, the severed hands of criminals were hung from the city gates, but there's been less success in apprehending al-Qaeda.
Keep you warm in the winter.
This woolen blanket once belonged to Osama bin Laden. It was a gift to this man, Abu Jandal, his former bodyguard until he turned his back on the organisation several years ago. He tells me that even he is shocked by the fervour and aggression of today's al-Qaeda in Yemen.
This latest generation is motivated by anger with the government. And this is very dangerous because most of South Yemen wants independence. So their ideas are mixed up with that. It's more difficult to reason with them. And they are more ignorant than previous generations.
He warns that al-Qaeda is determined to draw American soldiers into conflict in Yemen.
They're forcing the Americans to intervene, to change the Yemeni government completely, like what happened in Iraq.
At a huge mosque rising above the dust and poverty of the city, we're waiting for Islam's superstar televangelist. Inside, it's humming with anticipation. This is d.Cmrو Khalid's big moment, his sermon against extremism, and thousands have turned out.
So 50,000 today, and millions of Yemeni listen to the speech in the televisions and radios. All Yemen will listen to this speech today, and I'm full power that I'm saying the real Islam. This is our Islam, moderate Islam, not extreme.
It's an impassioned speech. Every father, every mother, he says, must shield their children from the creeping reach of extremism. There's no dissent. These are fans, after all. But it appears the preacher has his work cut out. Speaking to people outside, they appeared more angry with the West than al-Qaeda. America says Yemen is the cradle of al-Qaeda, says one man. It's not true. Yemen is a civilized land. Another says the West is exaggerating the size of al-Qaeda in Yemen. You can count their number on one hand, he insists. But it's a group of Western-educated women who reveal why this messenger of moderation may succeed here. He's everything the bearded conservative clerics are not.
They haven't even read about medicine. They don't even read about philosophy. They don't know anything. The only thing they read is like hadith and connect with the Quran, and they think that's enough.
And he's not like other sheikh with their thing. You know, it's like without boundaries. He's talking to youth, especially youth, without boundaries.
I think he's trying to solve the crisis, but instead of rushing like politicians, So he's trying to make it a bit easier, like more fun on the way. So like making a new generation. So I think he's doing it in a very good way, but we have to wait for the results.
d.Cmrو Khalid has a clear understanding of how al-Qaeda recruits the young.
If you found someone without a job, with no future, a lot of energy, and you took him to the internet to show them some photos from Iraq or from Afghanistan and tell them, do you want to be happy? You will not be happy in this life because no one will support you or listen to you to be happy. Come to do that. It's like that. But
how do you challenge that?
I challenge that through motivate youth to dream, to build their futures.
But it'll take more than dreams to uproot al-Qaeda. The United States is throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at Yemen in a bid to combat al-Qaeda here. But that money is ring-fenced specifically for counter-terrorism. And around the country, everyone has told us the same thing, that unless something is done to tackle the poverty, the economic black hole here, then there will be no solution. Yemen is the poorest country in the Middle East, hooked on a dwindling oil supply, rapidly running out of water, and a third of its adults out of work. It's a lonely-sounding voice which echoes across the valley beneath the medieval town of Kokaban. In happier times, tourists would arrive by the busload, laden with dollars. But today, we take the souvenir sellers by surprise. How many tourists today?
Only 3 pieces.
We're the only tourists.
Finish.
No.
Only Yemen.
It's bad for business. It's the same story in the neighbouring town of Thula. Al-Qaeda is bad for tourism.
Big problem for us. For hotel, for driver, for restaurant, for every people.
And people are struggling?
Yes, of course. Like me, problem. I work for tourism.
Ever the showman, the televangelist has hitched his bandwagon to football mania in Yemen with an impromptu display of ball skills. His message of coexistence with the West reflected in the England badge on his tracksuit trousers.
You know what is the message of today, of this game? It's a very important message. Very simple message. No clash between our modern life and our faith. No clash.
But even this whirlwind of modern Islam has struggled to fund the project. Arab donors told him they feared violent retribution. He's had death threats himself. Bin Laden's former bodyguard, Abu Jandal, says it'll take more than a sharp-suited preacher to break Al-Qaeda's deadly embrace with the West. The war has passed the point of no return.
Osama bin Laden had a saying, and I remember it when I was fighting in Afghanistan. He said that we and the West had entered a valley of no return. There is only survival or death. I don't blame the British or Americans. It is a matter of destiny, survival or death.
If the movement for moderation fails, a desolate Turkish cemetery stands as a warning to foreigners who may be tempted to send troops against Al-Qaeda. It marks the spot where tribesmen halted the advance of the Ottoman Empire 500 years ago. The Turks said Yemen was a land of pain, best left alone.